managed to bag this early. This one here, I got one. Thank you very much. I no longer need a Noel Gallagher Riviera. I think what Fender have done on this reissue is not got it wrong. It's just the sort of thing that Gibson would do, isn't it, you know? If you're a Clash fan, if you're a Joe Strummer fan, if you can get one of these, do. Don't be cynical, get one. Yeah, get some of them, put them on, and it's fully strummed up, isn't it? Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. It's very good to see you. Today, as you saw from the thumbnail, we're going to look at this. The new Fender Joe Strummer signature Telecaster. Here it is. I got one. By, I don't know, some kind of weird juju, serendipity, I don't know. I think I got an early advance model. I'll briefly tell you, I was looking at Three Called Dave's YouTube channel, and he announces that Fender have re-released this Joe Strummer signature. I'm thinking, great. So I'm online straight away. Where can I get one? They're not out yet. You know, they're not even listed as pre-order anywhere at that point. So all I could see is a Fender video announcing it. There's nothing else, so I leave it. 24 hours later, I'm back online, and I find one. For sale. It says in stock at Gear for Music in the UK. So I think, and there's nothing else, you know, anywhere else. So I think, well, that's a mistake, but I buy it anyway, you know, just in case. And anyway, apparently they did have one in stock. So a couple of days later, this arrived. I'm really grateful. I think it was a guitar that they demoed, because there is a video on the Gear for Music website of them demoing this guitar. So I'll put a link of that below as well, so you can check that out. Thank you, Gear for Music, anyway. I was just lucky enough to actually be looking online when this appeared for sale. I bought it. There don't seem to be any more available anywhere, as far as I can see, in the UK. And obviously at the point of making this film. They will no doubt drop shortly. But at the moment, I think I've got an early copy. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a close look at it. Obviously, we're going to look at it very closely. In fact, we're going to take it apart like we do all the guitars we review on here, and then we're going to play probably lots of Clash orientated tunes on it, or inspired by lots of songs inspired by the Clash. So don't forget, timestamps are in the description box. If you're in a hurry, you can skip forward to something that specifically interests you. If you're not, put me on pause, go and get a cup of tea or a cold one, come back, and then we'll get stuck in. All right, see you in a sec. So Joe Strummer, of course, best known for fronting the Clash, which I've gone on record as saying is my favourite band of all time. He mostly played Telecasters in the Clash, and this particular one is based on what appears to be his favourite one. Is the one that he's seen with most, as per this picture. And it's a 66. His was a 66 rather, a 66 Telecaster, which was originally Sunburst, and at some point, I think Bernie Rhodes, their manager, suggested that it wasn't cool enough, so they took it to a car paint shop, and as you can see, you know, it had a bit of primer on it, and then a black overcoat, and you know, it probably wasn't a great car paint shop, you know, up in Camden probably, and it quickly rubbed off, and it gave it that, you know, rubbed effect, I suppose, is the best way you describe it. You know, so yeah, it's a black over a grey primer over sunburst, and I think this relic job, in close person, it looks great. I'm going to say that now, and we'll do some real close-ups of it. I'm going to drop a couple of close-ups in now, actually, as you can see. It's really authentic. All the layers are there, okay? I say that because I did see some comments early on, well, last week on the Fender review, people saying, oh, the relic job doesn't look good. It does, okay? I'm telling you, I can see it. It's in front of me. It looks great. And it's proper road worn as well. You know, the neck's all road worn on it really nicely. And obviously it's got the nice patina on, you know, the tuners and the string ferrules, you know, nice and rusty. So we're going to go into all that in a little bit more detail, but, you know, straight on, it really is quite impressive, actually. Well, it's not a cheap guitar. I paid £1,499 for, which I think might have turned out to be a bargain as well. It's listed, now I had a look today, and I'll drop a couple of shots in because it's listed for pre-order as of today on Sweetwater in the States. I've got it for $17.99, I think it is, dollars. In the UK, a couple of people have got it. I think Anderton's have got it listed as pre-order at $14.99. PMT at $16.49. That'll change, you know, that changes on a daily basis, doesn't it? But at the moment they're all shown as pre-order, and we're not sure when they'll drop. It might be tomorrow. It might be by the time this goes out. It might not be till October. I'm just grateful I've got one in front of me. So, no. Yeah. Well, look, I'm chuffed because I had a disappointment with the Noel Gallagher Epiphone Riviera. I thought that would be great to review, and I think, again, I got my news from 3 Cool Dave that was coming out, so I put a deposit on one straight away because I knew that would be popular. And then that was the beginning of last week, in fact. They dropped, okay, so I got in touch with, I put a deposit on it with Guitar, and I hadn't heard anything from them, because normally they go, oh, great, it's in stock, pay the balance. But I hadn't, so I followed it up, and they said, well, I'm 59th on the list, okay. They'd had maybe 35 in, they'd all gone. So I'm way down the list, you know, I'm not going to get one until January. So I'll have my deposit back. I can't wait that long. Too many other guitars to buy. And then literally a couple of days later, 3 Cool Dave announced that the Joe Strummer Trib was out again. So I thought, well, I'll have one of them, however long it takes. And I got one the next day. Unbelievable. Cool. Serendipity. Right, I'm banging on. This is going to be a long one. Let's get on with it. So based on Joe's 66 Telly, it's got an alder body. It's got a maple neck, a rosewood slab board, 21 medium jumbo frets. So all vintage correct. Well, I don't know about the medium jumbo, but the 21 frets is vintage correct, isn't it, for a 66? Bone nut. It's got a bone nut. It's got vintage style, Cluson style tuners, and as you can see, relic. Got a really nice looking patina on those. As does the neck. You can see. I mean, look at that. It looks good. It's made in Mexico, this one. I think it would be a lot more expensive if this was made in USA with this kind of relic job. Anyway, moving on. The ashtray, so it's got a 6-saddle ashtray style bridge. Now, I've seen some pictures of Joe's. I've looked at some pictures of Joe's, and his does appear to have a 6-saddle bridge. As far as I know, I know a little bit about telly bridges because I've got a book on them. I think this is a 70s style bridge. I say that because I've looked it up, and the 6-saddle, this style bridge is referenced as a 70s bridge, and it's the same bridge that I've got on my 1978 Telecaster with the 6 saddles and the way that the Fender logo is stamped in. So I don't know. I'm just wondering whether or not it was a replacement on his original. I'm just going to mention that because I think what Fender have done on this reissue is not got it wrong, basically. I think they have actually put the bridge on that he had on his original guitar rather than got their dates mixed up. It's just the sort of thing that Gibson would do, isn't it? You know? But I don't think Fender have done that. Moving on, the pickups, they say they're specially wound Joe Strummer single coils. So we'll have a look at those closer in a minute, and we'll take some readings, see what that's all about. Obviously, standard wiring, three-way, big old knob that will get in your way quite a bit and fall off at every possible opportunity. As you can see, we need a bit of super glue for that straight away. Always happens. And these are called flat top knurled knobs, and they feel real nice and meaty. Okay. And this is, I believe, a nitro finish. It's not poly, this one. And I think that's where this release differs from the original one. That was poly. This isn't. This is a, I think it's nitro. I think that's all that, isn't it? I think, you know, the right number of screws and all that. I think they've done a real pucker job on the correctness. And now, as you can see there, it's got a Joe on the neck plate there. But as I've said, the relic job's good. You can feel all the ridges, and there's lots of dings and scratches. I was pleasantly surprised. All right, well, what we'll do now is weigh it, and then we'll take the strings off and we'll take it apart. Let's get stuck in. Righty-ho, here we go. 7 pound, 4 ounces, 3.31 kilograms. Nice weight for a Telecaster. Here's the neck profile and measurements at the 1st fret. And here's the neck profile and measurements at the 12th fret. So now we've got the strings off. Obviously we can have a little bit of a closer look at the fingerboard. The frets feel great. I'll do some close-ups. You can see there's no drama at all with the fretwork. I mean, obviously it's a relic guitar, so QC is kind of not really a thing, is it? All we can say is it's done really well. It looks really nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed by this guitar. It's a Mexican Fender, but I mean, well, I suppose people imagine Mexican Fenders to be some way inferior to USA-made Fenders. I think the only difference, in my humble opinion, is that the labour costs are cheaper. Sometimes, perhaps, the parts that they put on Mexican Fenders are inferior to the USA counterparts, but that's not the case with this one, clearly, you know. And they've probably gone out their way to put high quality parts on this. Hence the price. You know, this is why I paid $1,499, which I imagine is going to be about the street price for this. I think it represents value, fairly good value. Comes with a great vintage hard case. Here's where I shall drop some pictures in so you can see that. Really nice vintage style hard case. The only thing that doesn't come with, for some bizarre reason, is the stickers, which I believe the original version of this did come with. I think it was a limited edition. I read that there were 1,500 originals which came with the stickers. If we're very lucky, some stickers will arrive, because I bought some on eBay, and I'll show you what they're like. They're relic stickers, and they're great. Obviously, I'll show you. I got a homemade version which I put them on. I'll show you. You may have already seen this on the channel, but I made my own homage to it some years ago because I didn't have a Fender version, and I bought these stickers on eBay. So I've ordered some more and they're on their way. So fingers crossed I'll be able to show you what they look like. I mean, you can see what they look like, but I mean before they go on the guitar. I may stick them on this and I might not actually, I'm not sure yet. I quite like it as it is. Not sure. So let's just have a little bit of a deeper dive, shall we? Let's take some screws out. Let's take this scratch plate off to start with and see what's hidden underneath. Ha-ha! Whoa, what's that mean? So pick guard. Nice. What's that mean then? So it says C grav 3. What's that mean? I might have to do a bit of research on that. I have no idea what that means. You can see that there. Interesting. Okay, let's flip this. 250k audio, it says audio, so audio taper CTS pot there. And see if I can just get these wires out of the way. 250k, says AUD there as well. So 250k CTS pots, three-way switch. I don't know if those numbers will mean anything to anyone. There you go. Oh yeah, sorry, there's a cap there. I can't really make out what that cap says, but I'll drop in a close-up here so you can maybe see for yourselves. Let's just have a poke around under the pickups, just see if there's anything that needs to be seen. You got your neck Telecaster pickup screws straight to the body, as you probably know. Oh, yeah, I see. Now I'm going to have to just feed through some wire. Yeah, so it's got it's got these little rubber spacers that offer some resistance, don't they? It's got initials SB in the neck pickup route. And yeah, obviously there you can see the vintage style truss rod adjuster that annoys so many. Because to adjust the truss rod on these, you have to take the strings off. Probably at the very least have to take the scratch plate off. Anyway, pickup says nothing that I can really make out, I'm afraid. It's got some scribbles underneath that don't mean anything to us, do they? Okay. Well, anyway, we had a look, didn't we? So, if you get one, don't bother unscrewing that. There's nothing to see. And then you'll have to feed those wires back. So be careful not to scratch it, but it's not really going to matter with this guitar, is it? Okay. Let's see if I can screw this back down without incident. Okay. That's got that in it again. It says C grave with an E 3, C grave 3, and this imprint on the body says C grav 3. So at this point I don't know what that is. I might be able to find out or it might remain a mystery and someone of you out there might tell me. As far as the base of the pickup goes, that's what that looks like. Again, it's got some white writing that is a bit indistinguishable. Some numbers, I honestly can't see what that says. That number on the bottom there is 048610. Don't think that's what that says, but anyway, that's what it is. There's the earth going there. That's it. That's all we can see under there. There you go. What's Seagrave 3? Sounds like a special project, doesn't it? Maybe that's what it means. Maybe that's what it is. A special, yeah, like a secret code for this project. Maybe they do that when they're, you know, when they don't want news to get out. They go, well, they won't call it the Strummer replica. They'll call it Seagrave 3, top secret project. And somehow along the line, 3 Cool Dave gets wind of it and lets the secret out. Anyway, you know, or something like that anyway. Okay. Well, I've entertained myself for another 10 minutes or so, so let's screw it back. Oh, before we do that, let's start with the bridge, that one there. 6.15 kilo ohms. How many Henrys? A 2.05 Henrys. Okay. Over to the neck. A 7.09. A 1.66 Henrys. There you go. And just in the middle, 3.33 kilo ohms. So I think that pretty much covers it all. I'm going to screw it all back together now, put a new set of strings on it, and then we'll be back and we'll plug it in, see what it sounds like. Let's get on with it. Joe Strummer. That's what it sounds like. Plugged in today to Princeton, my new Princeton 65. The tweed, lacquered tweed one with a 12-inch speaker. Joe Strummer, I think, used to use a Fender twin reverb most of the time. So I'm using a kind of a more manageable version of that, the Princeton. It drives quite well. I've got an attenuator on it, so I've got it cranked up, you know, a little bit. Here's the settings. But if you turn the volume up, you know, you can get a little bit of a nice... So if you want to do this, and that was the bridge pickup. So obviously you got that, you know, lovely Telecaster twang. I'll roll it off a little bit. Nice. reasonable taper on the volume, and on the tone, a little bit. I've heard worse. Oh, bollocks. I've just got to tighten me volume knob off. It's slipped, and I was using the screw as a reference point. So let me get my screwdriver. Simple fix. That's the only problem with these knurled flat top knobs. There's no numbers or nothing, so I've got the screws at well, from your point of view, it'll be like, well, 2 o'clock, I suppose, and I can see them here, so I can just guesstimate a roll off, really. So I've got fully rolled on, just a little bit cleaner. So where was I? Okay, yeah, let's try the bridge pickup. Fully cranked. Do find the switch on tellies a little bit annoying. They're there, you know. So particularly this one, because it's quite a big sticky out one. Some of them are a little bit squatter and smaller. So I have to get used to that. A lot of people switch the whole control plate round, which is not a bad idea. But then you've got a knob there anyway, so I'm not sure if that really helps. Anyway. Bridge pickup, neck pickup, should I say. So that sounded pretty good, I thought. There's nothing really to criticise about this guitar. The pickups all sound great. You know, the controls all work. It's a telly, for God's sake. You know, I mean, they sound great. They're incredibly versatile guitars, Telecasters. They're my second favourite guitar. I would play Telecasters all the time if I didn't play SGs all the time. Telecaster's definitely my second choice. I find them a little bit more uncomfortable than SGs. That's the only thing. As far as this guitar is concerned, it's a really good job. You know, it's a really good job. We've been through it all. You can see that. The neck will be an acquired taste because it's got the 7 1/4 inch radius fingerboard and it's quite a slim neck. And for playing full on like bar chords like that, I was taught to play full on bar chords, so I kind of do it a lot by force of habit rather than rap over. And for that method, I think because you've got to close a gap, I think that's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say? Close a gap there. It can be a bit achy. You know, I noticed it for the first 10 minutes of playing. You know, if you're playing, you know, Clash, for instance, you know, and you're not doing power chords, which is probably what they did all the time anyway. But by force of habit, I'm doing the full bar in. You think, oh, that aches, and maybe you adjust or you just relax. You get used to it very quickly. It's not really an issue. I just sort of point it out. It's not going to be everyone's favourite neck profile, but it's vintage correct, as seems to be, you know, all the rest of it. The only fault I had with this guitar is one of the tuners broke. This one, this one, it locked. I've never had that before. I've never had that before. But if you, let me see if I can show you. It only does it one way. Let's do it that way. It's not going to do it now, is it? Now I've said that. Oh, there it is. See that? I've never had that before. Presumably the cogs have got mixed up. Yeah, that was on the low E string. So I've got a few guitars with similar tuners. So I borrowed one off a Fender Jazzmaster, actually, that had these identical, what they call no-line tuners. There you go, there's no markings down the middle there. So I borrowed one off my Jazzmaster. It looks remarkably similar. Well, I think it's pretty much the same. But anyway, I borrowed one, and I'll obviously have to get a replacement for this and put that back. But, well, yeah, it's a shame. I suppose it happens, doesn't it? That's the only thing I could fault with this guitar, and it's not anything that anyone could have noticed because it was okay when they well, I don't know what happened, but anyway, that's knackered. That's the only thing. Apart from that, the guitar is great. In terms of value, look, I mean, I paid £1,499. So I had a look. The Fender Mexican Road Worn Vintera series, which are kind of vintagey correct, not quite as relic as this, just a little bit of road worn. They're selling for around about £1,300, I think. So a couple of £100 less than this. So this feels about right. Also, I've got one other Fender Mexico relic guitar, which is this one. It's the Wayne Kramer MC5 Strat. Again, Mexican. I paid $1,400 for this second hand. So it's about right. And great to see Fender carrying on that tradition of signatures of really cool acts, eh? Yeah, this is brilliant. It didn't disappoint at all. I had great fun, you know, talking about it and playing it. I hope that comes across. Stickers, I got my stickers, my eBay stickers arrived. Bought these on eBay in the UK, £12. I'll put a link in the description box. I spoke to the guy and he said he's got a bunch. So I didn't get any stickers or any pack, any photo. You expect a kind of a little pack with something like this because it came in this great case, but there was no photo or anything, no stickers. So you might, if that's going to be the case with them all, here, I'll get some of them, put them on. And it's fully strummered up, isn't it? I might leave those off of this one because I've got my homemade version already with the stickers on. And I really like the look of this without, and I think it's kind of a stealth signature. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great. Cool, there you go. What have I forgotten? Nothing. That's it. I've covered everything. Oh, I think anyway. Oh yeah, the other thing I was gonna maybe just say is I did see in the comments, online comments and forums, you know, all that sort of stuff. People a little bit cynical saying, well, Joe Strummer would have hated this, would have hated the idea of a Mexican signature guitar. I don't know about that. I know there's a Fender master-built custom shop Joe Strummer signature, the white one, the Bourbon Street one, which is selling for about 12 grand. And I think, yeah, I think he'd have been mortified, perhaps, at that. This one, I really don't know, to be honest with you. But all I can say is if you're a Joe Strummer fan and a Clash fan, and you're thinking about getting one, well, don't be cynical, get one, because it will bring you closer to the man and his music, you know. And that can't be a bad thing, can it? Clash, fantastic band, my favourite band of all time. The two main albums, London Calling and Sandinista, if you haven't listened to those, I really suggest you do. You know, it dispels that myth that they were a thrash punk band, you know. They were far more than that. They were a punk band through and through, you know, the attitude and the beliefs that they brought to the music. But it's not what you think. If you haven't listened to The Clash, go and listen to those two albums and be enlightened, okay? And then thank me for it at a later stage. If you're a Clash fan, you know what I'm talking about. Thanks for joining us, guys. That's all I got for this week. I'm going now. I'm done. I've talked enough. I'll be back next week, though, to talk some more. And I've got another new guitar to show you that I've bought this week, and I like it. Oh, I've given the game away. Don't tell anyone. Come back next week and pretend I haven't told you that. Come back next week, see what it's all about. Until then, thank you very much. Ta-ra for now.